Chapter 2. The woman's scream ceased, halting everyone's thoughts abruptly. The men who had been shouting and cursing moments ago fell silent. It's no longer a matter of breaking the law. The strange figure before them was truly capable of murder. After over a minute of tense silence, the goat-headed figure finally gave a slight nod.
Good. 9 of you. It seems you have all quieted down.
The expressions on their faces changed drastically, yet no one dared to utter a word. Just as he had said, there were truly 9 of them now. Chi Xia extended a trembling hand and removed a piece of pale pinkish-yellow matter from his face. The shattered fragment of brain, still clinging to the last remnants of warmth, quivered faintly, but within seconds, it deflated like a punctured balloon, drained utterly of life. The goat-headed figure extended its blood-soaked fingers, pointing to its mask, and said,
Allow me to introduce myself. I am the human goat. And you are the participants.
The crowd froze for a moment, then a flicker of confusion crossed their faces. Human, sheep, participants.
Now, all of you gathered here together. It was to take part in a game, ultimately creating a god.
The goat-headed figure spoke in an eerily calm tone. Yet, those 2 consecutive sentences caused everyone to furrow their brows. In these few minutes of interaction, the group had already begun to grasp, more or less. The man standing before me was a madman, but this madman claimed he was going to create a god. The robust young man asked nervously,
What kind of god are you creating?
A deity like NWA. Ha! How marvelous it is. You shall bear witness to history alongside us. Once, Nua created humanity, yet she transformed into a rainbow upon mending the heavens. We cannot lose NWA, so we must create NWA. A great mission awaits the gods.
The goat-headed figure gesticulated wildly, exuding a rancid stench, his voice laced with a sinister edge. His voice rose with intensity, as if possessed by an unholy fervor. The burly young man furrowed his brows, a gnawing feeling of disbelief wrapping around him. He paused briefly, and then asked,
Nuwa, are you some kind of religion?
The goat's head opened slightly, turning towards the young man and uttered the word,
Religion. We are grander than religion. We possess a world.
Upon hearing these words, the group fell silent once more, the tall man's question cutting sharply through the tension. The actions of this goat-headed figure were disturbingly akin to those of a cult, yet most cults, they tend to invent a new god rather than use a heroic figure like Nuwa. The man with the sharp gaze continued, his voice low and probing.
In that case, what exactly do you want us here to be part of?
I said it's just a game, but if you win, one among you will become a god.
Damn it! This is nonsense! The investiture of the gods right. But what if we can't win?
The goat's head tilted his head back, staring at the bloodstains on his hands. A trace of disappointment flickered in his eyes.
Can't win. Losing would be such a pity.
Although he didn't say it outright, everyone understood his meaning, win or face death. Among the choices he offered, there was no path leading to survival. Either you became what he called a god, or end up like that young man with his skull cracked open, dying right here.
If everyone understands, then let the game officially begin. This game is called the Liar.
The goat head slowly pulled a stack of papers from within his cloak. Then, nonchalantly, he walked to each person, placing a piece down, and then he pulled out a few pens, distributing them among the group. The table was stained with blood, an unsettling sight that sent a chill down the spine. Each time someone's blank sheet of paper touched the surface, it became tainted with crimson. Turning the paper over and wiping a hand across it, the crimson spread like paint, making the white paper even redder. The goat's head continued to speak of what was next.
I want each of you to recount the last story that happened before arriving here. But remember, among all the storytellers, there is one who lies. When all 9 finish their tales, you must vote. If all 8 choose the liar correctly, liar is out. The rest survive if any of them choose wrongly. The liar survives, while all others are eliminated.
The liar, a hint of confusion spread among the crowd. Would anyone really lie at a moment of life and death? The burly man suddenly inquired.
Wait, can we discuss our strategy?
Before the game begins, you have 1 minute to discuss your strategy. Will you use it now or wait?
I need it now.
Do as you wish.
The goat-headed figure took a step back, withdrawing from the table. The swordsman pressed his lips together, his gaze sweeping over the others. He deliberately avoided looking at the headless corpse sprawled across the tabletop. Then, in a low, measured voice, he said,
I don't know who among you is about to lie, but this rule, it feels far too arbitrary. As long as one person casts the wrong vote, we will all perish. Yet even if we choose correctly, the liar will also die. In this case, no matter what, a corpse is inevitable. Now I've thought of a way for everyone to survive.
Upon hearing these words, everyone turned to the robust man. Could such a feat truly be accomplished, ensuring everyone survives? The metallic man wasted no time, revealing the answer before anyone could piece it together.
None of us were lying. All 9 of us were telling the truth. In the end, write down on this piece of paper. No one tells a lie. This way, without breaking the rules, we can survive.
The man in the white coat gently tapped his fingers on the table, and after a moment, he began to speak.
Your plan is quite good, but there's one premise. You are not a liar yourself. But how can we trust you? If you are the one who's been lying all along, and we all write down that no one is lying, then the only one who would survive in the end would be you.
It was said that the man's expression held a hint of anger.
What kind of nonsense is that? If I were a liar, how could I possibly make such a suggestion? I would only need to secure my own safety.
The goat-headed figure gave a slight wave of its hand.
Your 1 minute is up. Cease your exchange.
It commanded. The 2 men let out cold snorts, their voices laced with disdain, and fell into a tense, oppressive silence.
Now everyone, draw your cards.
The goat-headed slowly slides out from the pocket. He drew out a small stack of cards, each about the size of a playing card. On the back, 4 words were etched. New a game. The man froze for a moment, his voice low and cautious as he asked,
What is this thing?
This is the identity card. If you draw the liar, you must lie.
The burly man clenched his teeth tightly, his voice laced with controlled fury.
You're playing games with us. If such a rule exists, why didn't you mention it earlier?
This is to teach you a lesson before I even finished laying out the rules. You dared to ask if we could discuss the tactics. It was you who wasted a precious minute, not me for not saying it earlier.
The man's face darkened, a shadow of displeasure passing over his features. Yet, at the thought of the goat-headed's deadly methods, he swallowed his anger, his unease coiling silently within him like a snake waiting to strike. In the span of a single minute, 9 people each drew a card from the hands of the goat-head, yet not one of them dared to turn it over and see what lay beneath. If the card reads, liar, then it becomes a question of whether to survive oneself or let someone else live. The hands of the 4 girls trembled slightly, while the men's faces were equally grim. This was not a draw of identity, but of life and death. Xia took a deep breath, casually clutching her card with fingertips that betrayed a hint of unease. He then moved it closer, gently opened it, and was confronted with the words, liar.